Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1499.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about money-saving travel ideas, especially for airfare. Because right now, plane tickets are actually getting cheaper because domestic travel is weakening. But not only that, Google has done a study all about when to book flights for the cheapest rates. So I'll be sharing with you what the sweet spot is for booking cheap. So first of all, airfare dropped in March, and major carriers are turning to off-peak fare sales and cutting excess capacity in the second half of the year. Airline CEOs this month warned that passengers' appetites for domestic trips is coming in lighter than they had hoped when they set forecasts at the start of 2025. American Airlines CEO Robert Isom said on a quarterly earnings call, "Nobody really relishes uncertainty when they're talking about what they could do on a vacation and spend hard-earned dollars." Of course, he's referring to economic uncertainty right now, and people not really sure where prices are going to be on things. As I've reported in earlier podcasts, people are concerned about the inflation and pricing on everyday items that they're buying, especially food at the grocery store. So what we're seeing is airlines may have too many seats on their hands. And as a result, Delta, Southwest, and United said they will cut back their capacity growth plans after what they still hope will be a strong summer travel season. The good news is airfare fell 5.3% in March from last year, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest data. Easter is usually a peak travel period that coincides with many school vacations, and it fell in March of last year, though fares also dropped 4% in February of this year. But the real culprit, according to airline executives, is that corporate travel is slower than expected. It's facing the same challenges many households are, and government travel has plunged too, with the administration's cost cuts and mass layoffs this year. Delta CEO Ed Bastian said on April 9th that corporate travel was trending up 10% this year at the start of 2025, but that growth has since flattened. Business travel often is what saves the airlines because its customers are less price sensitive and they often book at the last minute when tickets tend to be more expensive. But now there's an overhang of seats in domestic flights that's forcing airlines to cut prices to fill their planes. Alaska Airlines has warned of weaker than expected demand, and they have lowered some fares to fill their seats. They said demand is still quite high for the industry, but it's just not at the peak that we all anticipated might continue coming out of last year. Meanwhile, Google did quite an investigation about when to book flights. And they're giving us definitive answers about what days and how many days in advance are the best times to book to get the best fares. This comes from aggregating 4 years of airfare data and trends to provide U.S. travelers with an overarching guide to find the cheapest flights and the best times to book them. So what did Google find are the best days to book the cheapest flights? Well, the cheapest day is Tuesday, according to the historical flight data. Other good days are Monday and Wednesday. Flying early to midweek can save travelers 13% to 20% on airfare compared to flying on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And Sunday is the most expensive day to fly. Also, they found that travelers can save 25% by booking a flight with a layover instead of a non-stop flight. And how far in advance do you need to book for the best fare? For domestic flights, prices are generally at their lowest between 21 days and 52 days before the trip, with 38 days before departure being the cheapest day to book on average. For international flights, the prices are generally lowest between 50 and 101 days before your trip, but it's generally best to book as early as you can. According to Google, average prices don't meaningfully drop any time before departure, but they usually do start to rise within 50 days of the flight when it comes to international travel from the U.S. So here's the best time to book a flight in every season. For spring break, Google says the cheapest domestic flights in March and April are available between 33 to 59 days in advance, with 44 days before departure being the cheapest time to book on average. For summer break, the cheapest domestic flights in July and August are usually available 13 to 43 days in advance, with 21 days before departure being the cheapest day to book on average. At Thanksgiving, the cheapest domestic flights over the Thanksgiving holiday are usually available between 26 to 59 days in advance, with 45 days out being the cheapest, meaning it's best to book Thanksgiving flights in early October. And at Christmas, the cheapest domestic flights over the winter holidays are usually available between 36 to 72 days in advance, with 58 days out being the cheapest. It's best to book Christmas or holiday travel in the latter half of October. And when is the best time to book a flight from the U.S. to Europe? It's usually cheaper 50 days or more before departure, with 94 days out being the cheapest day to book on average. As with all international travel, it's generally best practice to book as early as you can. And how about booking a flight from the U.S. to Mexico or the Caribbean? Well, that's the one exception to the broader international trend, according to Google. That's because flights are generally at their lowest between 26 and 68 days in advance, with 44 days out being the cheapest. And interestingly, Google also posted what the top destinations are between November 24th through December 1st, so around Thanksgiving time. Number 1 is Orlando, Florida. Number 2 is Cancun, Mexico. Number 3 is New York City. Number 4 is Tokyo. Number 5 is London. Number 6 is Miami. Number 7 is Paris. Number 8 is Los Angeles. Number 9 is Las Vegas. And number 10 is Honolulu. Between Christmas and New Year's Eve, the most popular destinations between December 22nd and January 5th are Tokyo, Orlando, Cancun, Miami, New York, London, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Honolulu, Paris, and Las Vegas. Very interesting statistics. I think that's great that Google published that for us. And that gives us valuable information to know when to book the best fares and save the most money. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all of my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips for your financial freedom. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.